Welcome back to the Italian Grand Prix, round number 13 of the season. We're currently on a pretty good streak. We've scored in our last 5 races and we're chasing down Magnussen for P10 in the championship. And before you bring it up in the comments, no, it's not to get a seat for next season. I'm not driving that McLaren. But we're in a Sauber, we've got a Ferrari engine, so I've taken all the downforce off my car. In practice, I was struggling a little bit. Things seemed to be going well. I obviously had straight line speed because I had absolutely no downforce. The only issue was I couldn't really brake for corners. It was quite difficult. Took some getting used to, and it wasn't just braking. I was also struggling with traction. Practice went great. I'm sure qualifying will go amazing.
It's qualifying time here in Italy as the cars go through their final checks before they head out on track. Will it be a Red Bull, a Ferrari, or a Mercedes day? I think it's going to be close.
It won't. It won't be close. Of course it won't. Skipping to the end of qualifying, we qualified P8, which is honestly pretty good. I managed to get a lap in without breaking myself at any point. And I just need to give massive props to Adrian Sutil. P14. He gets through to Q2. You know what? No, just forget Q2. He gets out of 22nd place. Also, somehow Chilton got through to Q2. I don't know how the fuck he did that. Q2 wasn't as plain sailing. I was feeling pretty confident because I had straight line speed. As long as I got my braking right, I had top speed in the car, which is what's important here. So at the start of Q2, I decide, you know what? I think I'm going to try and qualify on the prime tyres. But before that, I wanted to put in a banker, go out on my Q1 tyres, just put a lap time in, make sure I've got something on the board. Then I'll go out and beat that lap time on the prime tyres. So I do my banker, it's a 125.8. It's fine. With track evolution, I'm sure I'll easily be able to beat it on the prime tyres and be in a good position for the race. So I went back to the pit, put on some prime tyres. The delta is a disturbing 0.7 of a second, but with track evolution, surely I'll be able to beat that time.
You're doing a great job.
I somehow have the fastest Sector 3. This plan started to fall apart at this point though, because I couldn't beat the time. I couldn't beat the time on prime tyres, so I was left with no other option to go back into the pit and put on a fresh set of option tyres to beat my lap time. Otherwise I'll get through to Q2 and I'll be starting on option tyres that have done 2 qualifying laps, which is not good at this track. But I couldn't beat my time. So we get through to Q3, but my tyres are fucked for the race. More importantly though, Rosberg's P16. It's fine because he's in a Mercedes, so he'll be top 5 by turn 1 or at most lap 2. He'll be fine. I look forward to the soul crushing overtake because he cruises past me down toward Parabolica. I'll be honest, there wasn't really much of note to bring up in Q3. I had decent pace and I end up qualifying P8. And that's it.
Welcome to Monza, where the crowd are ready for today's action. And we hope you're ready to see the world's best drivers fighting it out for that #1 spot. It's time for the Italian Grand Prix. We knew this was a track that suited the Mercedes well, but no one would have expected that Lewis...
So it's looking like a 2-stop race. I would have tried for a 1-stop had I not fucked up my tyres in qualifying. So we're going to have to go for a 2-stop. I just got to hope and expect the AI to go to 3 stops. That seems to be their go-to for this season. Let's hope for a better start than we did in Belgium. It's a long run down to turn 1, but hopefully we don't get taken out. Lights out and away we go. I'm just going to let this unfold. Obviously I'm going to be swamped by everyone behind me and then I'll directly inside the turn #1 and take back those positions. Magnussen's going to join me apparently. Button's going to hit me and we're forced to cut turn 1. Thank you, Button. But it's actually worked out for us. We've only lost 2 positions. I don't really know how I didn't get an illegal overtake, but given how Button hit me... Oh, Rosberg's already behind me. Oh, hi Rosberg. That's great fun. Well, I guess that technically means we're net P11, because we're definitely not holding Rosberg back. Obviously I wanted to stay within slipstream of DRS of the cars ahead, otherwise I'd be left on my own, and thankfully Magnussen and Vettel going side by side through Parabolica, slowing themselves up and allowing me to get onto the back of Button. Now it's time to test my straight line speed. We've got slipstream from 3 cars, Vettel, Magnussen and Button going side by side, 3 wide, down the straight. Jesus Christ, I've never been this fast in this Sauber. Braking perfectly for turn number 1, up to P7 in one straight. Maybe it was just the setup that was slowing this car down. Never mind, due to acceleration, Magnussen easily gets alongside me through the Curva Grande, side by side into turn number 4. We're going to go for the Ricciardo move up the inside into turn 4, scare him offline and go back into P7. On lap number 3, DRS has been enabled, so this is the real test. Obviously Magnussen doesn't have DRS at this point, but he still is able to easily get past me. But he's only side by side through turn number 1, so thanks to AI, we're just going to hold on to that position. Thank you, Magnussen. It was acceleration that I was really struggling with, and now Rosberg is on the back of me once again. Side by side with Magnussen for the second time through turn 3. We are actually slightly ahead into turn number 4. We're not able to go for the Ricciardo move, but we are able to go around his outside. Holding on to P7 once more. It will soon become P8 because Rosberg... I'm not keeping Rosberg behind. We are causing quite a dramatic train behind us, but honestly, I don't care. If I stay ahead, that's all that matters. Rosberg and Magnussen do go side by side through Ascari, so that's going to gain me a little bit of time. Given how it's now Rosberg ahead, it will probably earn me, I don't know, a sector of him not being behind me. Oh hey look, half a lap later and he's right behind me. I have absolutely no issue just letting you pass, Rosberg. I do not want to deal with you. You are not in my race. Although he's not really challenging. Oh, he doesn't need to challenge me. I've outbraked myself into turn 4. I'm bottling under pressure to AI. That is humiliating. With the exception of traction out of turn number 2 and the Lesmo, the tyres weren't feeling that bad, although that's purely down to the nature of the track. These tyres were very much warm by this point, and at the end of lap number 7, we are going to come into the pit for, I think, an early stop. I think my tyres were just dead by this point. I think Perez and Button were catching me, so I decide, before they get into my DRS, I'm going to get out of their way. Onto the prime tyres we go. We are going to drop massively down the order, but hopefully we can get into the slipstream of someone and they can tow us along on these slower tyres. Do what we did in Belgium. It seems to be working out for us in recent races. So coming out in 21st and last place, Maldonado is retired once again. We make up some positions through pit stops and getting the undercut on some people. We're ahead of Button, thankfully that was our target. We're now behind Ericsson. For some reason I always find Ericsson in these races. I always have to look at that horrible Caterham that sometimes I do admittedly miss. We're down the straight, down towards Ascari, we cruise past him, thankfully he doesn't take me out. Up into P14 we go. And coming on to lap number 13, we currently sit P12, we're going to gain even more positions thanks to pit stops. We're making these prime tyres work, it seems. We seem to have decent pace. Up into P9 we go. Somehow Hamilton is in P8. He must have had some sort of issue. Always on a very bizarre strategy. I would assume he would be 40 seconds ahead by this point and probably lapping me, but apparently he's having a hard day. And at the end of lap 16, that P9 turns into P8 as one more car comes into the pit. I cannot for the life of me remember who it was. But we retake 8th position on the prime tyres. We're in a very good position to get yet another points finish, so long as we keep it on track. And you know, the game doesn't give me any bullshit 5-second penalties that I don't deserve. At the end of lap number 18, we're going to come in for our second stop, back onto the option tyres, on the faster tyres compared to everyone else, as usual. We were in P7 at the time of our pit stop, we're obviously going to fall down the order. It was at this point I was getting a bit nervous that some people were on 1 stops. I was obviously hoping they were going to pit at a similar time to me. Turns out a lot of them didn't, so we're going to come out in P12. We're ahead of Perez, crucially, but we may have to we may have to fight for this one if we want some big points. Thankfully there was a split strategy down the grid, so I wasn't completely out of it. We're going to get ahead of Massa somehow, and also somehow Rosberg, who must have had an incident, I'm guessing with Massa. I don't think I'd ever see Rosberg again, but on lap 21 we go up into P10 and we're ahead of the Mercedes. Can you class that as on pace?
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
It turns out the Toro Rossos were on a 1 stop, so I had to chase them down. We get onto the back of Kvyat. by lap number 22, with the added pressure of Rosberg chasing me down on very fresh, very fast tyres. So that was concerning, but importantly we're faster than the Toro Rosso of Kvyat as we come on to the back straight. I'm kind of hoping we can cruise past him down the straight and he's not going to hold us up for a Ascari. For some reason he's quite quick in a straight line, and I think this is purely down to me being terrified to pass him given our history, to the point where we're heading down towards Parabolica and I don't really want to pass him because he'll get DRS on me, so we're going to have to play some DRS games into Parabolica. We're going to go side by side of him, stay behind him until the DRS line, and then dive us inside. Into P9 we go, and we should have DRS on him and be able to just pull away and go chase down Vern. Fuck you, game. Well, luckily we were faster than him anyway, so we were able to pull away from Kvyat. I was hoping he could hold up Rosberg a little bit. Rosberg was very much still a threat to me, obviously. He was so unbelievable. He was putting in fastest laps basically every single lap, chasing me down. While we were chasing down Vern. Shit. By the end of lap number 25, I am right behind Vern. In his slipstream down the main straight. We just get DRS on him. Able to pull up close to him. We're obviously not going to pass him. We've got a 3.8 second gap to Rosberg. 2 laps to go. I wasn't feeling confident about this, especially given I was making mistakes now. In an ideal scenario, I cruise past Vern and then Vern takes Rosberg out. I wasn't at all optimistic that the game was going to help me that way. Arguably I should have stayed behind Vern to get DRS and slipstream, but through the corners he was just so much slower than me that I kind of had to pass him down towards Ascari. And we're going to do it down the back straight. DRS and Rich Mix at our disposal. Up into P8 we go. Now please Vern, please hold Rosberg up, please fight him. I know you've not got tyres left and you're in a Toro Rosso. And I know we've had our differences this season. But please help me out here, man. He's going to come back at me down Parabolica, and for some reason I'm playing DRS games with him. With hindsight, I should have just let him have DRS so he could get away from Rosberg. I had the straight line speed on him anyway. I probably could have just taken him down towards Ascari again, but we're going side by side down the main straight. This is exactly what I don't want to do. If I let him add DRS, I could have just let him pass and I could have got him later on in the lap, but now we're playing DRS games, we're slowing each other up, we're battling into corners, and now Rosberg is right behind the two of us. I think I'll fuck this. In other news, Valtteri Bottas has won his first ever Formula 1 race. I don't know how Hamilton's fucked that up, but anyway, we're coming on to the back straight for the final time. Rosberg is pushing Vern through the second Lesmo, and it's not even going to be a question. It's a Mercedes versus a Toro Rosso. Rosberg cruises past Jean-Eric Vern, giving us one sector to try and defend against a very fast Mercedes. Luckily he doesn't have DRS down this straight, but luckily for him, he doesn't need it. That's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting. At the final corner, on the final lap, we're going to lose P8 to Rosberg. And honestly, looking back on it, I've only got myself to blame. I drove like an absolute idiot in the final few laps there. I could have easily stayed ahead of Rosberg had I been smart about DRS and Jean-Eric Vern. That one does admittedly sting a little. I could have beaten Rosberg on pace there. Valtteri Bottas wins his first race in F1 3 seasons early with Williams. Lewis Hamilton absolutely bottles an easy win in Italy, and somehow the Renault-powered Red Bull gets P3 and 4. What the fuck? We get our 6th points finish in a row, but it could have been P8, it should have been P8. But looking back at how Hamilton lost this race, it should have been an easy win for him. He is lapping, of course, a Caterham, just goes into the back of Kobayashi and breaks his wing. I feel like the FIA really need to look into the Caterham team, because consistently they're causing utter chaos to the race leaders. Not content with just Hamilton's blood on their hands, they decide, let's screw over Massa as well. This is how Massa finished outside the top 10. Arguably it's Massa's fault, or more accurately it's the AI's fault. But someone definitely needs to look into this Caterham team. There's something dodgy going on here, they're cheating bastards. In the drivers, once again, there is a 14-point swing at the top, and Hamilton... It's now Hamilton who is 7 points clear of Rosberg. Further down the table, we still sit P11, cementing our place ahead of Jean-Eric Vergne, despite him scoring points today. We're now just 10 points behind Magnussen, but if we continue at this pace, consistently getting 2, 4, 1 point each race, by the end of the season, we should be in the top 10, assuming he doesn't get another bullshit race win. But in the Constructors, of Hulkenberg finishing P7, he closes up the gap between me and Force India by 1 point. I'm saying me because although it is that 1 point that's keeping us ahead of Force India, I don't want Sutil to be a part of this team. He's fucking useless. But that concludes the Italian Grand Prix. Another good race from us. It could have been more though. Put your thoughts down in the comments. Will I catch Magnussen? Will I keep Sauber in P6 in the Constructors? Or will Sutil help? Next up is the Singapore Grand Prix, a track that I've stated many times I absolutely love and I really want to do well at. Inevitably though, I'll bottle it in some capacity. I'll probably put it in the wall. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in Singapore for what will probably be a very disappointing race. I'm probably going to throw it away. That's my prediction. I've not recorded it yet. I'm probably going to fuck it up.